Now this right here, this is anime. Like, just listen to the rhythm of the guitar, to the VA, to just the way the camera panels. It's so good. Like, let's just back up here for a second and just look at this little brief sequence. It's so quick, but the amount of detail that is poured into this scene alone, and there's so much more after this, is honestly astounding. To the way the camera literally moves around, and you just see just the VA really expressing the love for her just role within the show. It's honestly just breathtaking. Like, this is actually just such a great sequence because it proves you don't need to have, like, fancy action or, high impact or, high octane scenes where characters are beating the crap out of each other to really just enjoy a good show, to have really good art and animation direction. And, I gotta say, man, I love this show. Like, straight up, before I go any further and I talk about kind of the intricacies of what this is about, I'm just gonna say, this series came out of nowhere for me. Like, I did not expect to enjoy Jellyfish Can't Move in the Night as well as I did, and honestly, I'm honestly moved by it. Like, the Studio Doga, they did really good. But I think one of the big individuals that are really making this series just so good, like why it is popping right now and why I enjoyed it, was this individual right here, the scriptwriter slash series composition, Yaku Yuki. As you can see here, what they've worked on in the past is a few noteworthy series, which I want to be completely blunt with you. I haven't, like, read all of their series or gotten into them and all that and even know much about them, but I do know about the works. I do know that there is a lot of love for this individual and what they have worked on in the past for, like, their light novels. So it's like seeing them work on this show here, it makes a lot of sense why, in terms of writing, it's very high quality. Now, let's get into what this show is actually about, because obviously what I've shown briefly here is just a character singing with a guitar, with great choreography, and just a character in the background here that is, reminiscing about what has been going on in her life. There's a lot of details to cover, honestly, and there's a lot of just messages and themes and just, like, kind of showcasing that there's a lot of depth to the show. And I think that one thing you need to take away from what this show is about is that it is a character-driven story. That is the first, most important aspect of this entire anime, is that it is character-driven. There's nothing else that matters as much as that. And I think that's very important, because you need very powerful characters to carry a show that is obviously slice of life. And that's exactly what this is. This show doesn't have fantasy, it doesn't have, like, it's not gonna have fights or anything. It's just straight up going to be basically a show about two characters learning to be better than they once were, and learning to help each other out when they need it. And I love those type of shows. It's a show that really is a feel-good series to watch, but also it kind of gives you life lessons, and it can be motivational for those that maybe are having kind of a depressing time or something, and when they see these characters at rock bottom kind of climbing out of the hole and, improving themselves, it's very inspiring. These type of shows are really good, and I've always loved them. I'm a big sucker for a good slice of life series, and honestly, this series did a good job with it. So let's talk about the plot. So basically, the story, for the most part, it begins with a conversation about influencers and TikTok, Twitter, all that type of stuff, and kind of just how a lot of younger people and just the new generation of kids and stuff are all about getting famous and getting noticed, having fame and recognition. It's a very powerful and just a very addictive type of, feeling. I mean, we got to think about how the internet culture is. Everybody's trying to figure out a way to gain clout, figure out a way to just really blow up in popularity. Hell, me making YouTube videos, I'm also, every single day when I am making videos and talking about the stuff, I am trying to gain more publicity in a way. So when you think about it like that, it's understandable. I understand, the theme that the beginning of the episode was trying to bring up, is that, the new generation and everything is trying to just in some way shape the world and be noticed, and, be noticed for what they contribute to society. Now, there is an argument to be said for the new stuff like TikTok and all that, what it's done to people, but I'm not going to get into that. The point of the matter is that the show wants to participate in two characters wanting to be known for, like, you know, just the things they do, either by doing artwork or by singing, and that's kind of the origin point of the episode. So as we continue with the episode, we find out a little bit more about this character here. She's our main female character, Yoru, which is an artist. She loves to draw, and we see with brief flashbacks and stuff that she is someone that wanted to do art for a very long time, but because of, you know, what her friends said about her art, she decided to just swear away art and never do it ever again. And it's a legitimately sad sequence, and you got to see how she had this dream, this aspiration to do something with her life and be noticed, and she brought her friends into her comfort zone, so to speak, to showcase what she loves, and they absolutely crapped on it. Now, to be fair to the friends, they didn't know that she is the one that did it, but it doesn't change the fact, though, that she brought her friends over to see this giant painting of a jellyfish that she did, and they completely crapped on it. And she never spoke up about who did it or whatever. She was so ashamed and embarrassed that she kind of sketched her name off, she hid it, and she, once again, like I said, she swore away artwork for the rest of her life until obviously this episode began. And I think it's a really sad thing because I feel like there is a lot of people within this world, and I feel like this is going to be a relatable character that, you know, inspires to be something. They want to be something, and when they show it maybe to their loved ones or close friend or whatever, and, you know, their friend might not be as receptive, or, you know, I guess they might not be excited for you or happy for you or whatever, or supportive, so to speak. You know, this can be in a variety of things: family, friends, lover, whatever. And I feel like that is very relatable to this character, that she didn't get the support that she obviously needed. So she felt inadequate and that she shouldn't do art to begin with. So we fast forward to the later events after that, finding out a little bit more about this backstory, and we see our two female characters come to a very important decision that honestly kind of talks about the main message and theme of what, you know, this series is actually about, or at the very least the first episode is about. And that is, it kind of showcases what these characters represent. So in the middle, we have our main female character, Yoru, which I was just talking about, and on the left, you see this blonde-haired character that is Kano. She is our other main female lead. Now, the thing about this is that they could not be any more different as characters. They are so different, in fact, that this very scene where she is selecting an outfit for the Halloween party kind of demonstrates their personality with just this very brief selection. And let's get into that. So, obviously, what you see on screen here is you see an angel, and you see a demon/devil. And I don't think I need to get into the symbolism of good and evil and all that type of stuff, but the point of the matter, this is a decision that our main female character, Yoru, has to make. You know, what does she want to wear for Halloween? And such a minor decision can really speak a lot about someone's personality. For instance, it could showcase indecisiveness, it could show, you know, what you feel you more are like, or maybe even hidden desires. And in this case, her hand that navigates to both of these outfits, before this outfit is picked up by Kano, you actually see where she shifts her hand over to pick up the demon/devil outfit. And even though she doesn't pick it up because she was so slow on the uptake and indecisive, which you could see here, it's taken away from her, it does showcase that she has a hidden desire to be maybe somewhat different than what she is. Because after this scene, you can see that she's a little bit shocked and upset that she wasn't able to grab the outfit, and this mysterious individual grabbed it right beside her. She doesn't get a good look, but, you know, she doesn't put up much of a fight. She just looks at it, she's like, well, that kind of sucks. And after that whole, you know, little event, she decides to just grab the other outfit, which is the angel outfit, which reverts back to her personality, what she actually is. For instance, very meek, or just someone that tries to remain completely like an angel, so to speak. Not necessarily in the aspect of she does no wrong, but someone that just, you know, is so sweet and doesn't try to start any confrontations whatsoever. That's basically what you get from the outfit selection, and I like that. It kind of showcases the personalities of the two characters very well. Someone casually walks in, grabs the outfit, doesn't really think too much about it because they know what they want to achieve, while you have another person that's very indecisive, not knowing what they want, but they kind of do. They want to go for the left one, but they're so indecisive that it is taken out from underneath them, and so they go for the other option and they just travel through life. Or in this case, it goes back to the actual story of what the title is, and let's go back to that. The English title is Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, and this is very important because that theme and that title plays a big role in what the first episode is about, is that our main female character, Yoru, could be represented as someone that is like a jellyfish, that she can't swim, she can't move, she can't shine unless someone else helps her move and shine for her. In this case, that's what Kano is. The other character that we saw briefly I just showed, she is someone that was able to cause Yoru to make a decision and eventually be able to move on her own, or be able to at least move somewhat to make a decision. So I like that. The very title and theme plays such an important role in such an easy decision that is so minor that many people watching this episode would completely just have it fly right over their heads, and I like that. I love shows that add those little details that really the audiences that are paying attention will notice, and those that are not really caring too much about it, they can just enjoy a good show. I respect that. I really do. Now, getting into the aspects of the two characters, I think this is where, like, the main message of the story comes into play. That we have this outgoing character, Kano, that was once an idol, and thanks to some form of allegations or assault and drama and all that, she had to effectively retire from being an idol, and now her new objective in life is to be able to basically sing and make music videos, etc., and that's the whole singing aspect that you saw at the end of the episode. She knows what she wants, she hasn't given up, and she keeps trying to crawl back to the surface, while you have Yoru, that is someone that has fallen basically from heaven, aka someone that wanted to be an artist and has just such high aspirations that just came crashing down to the planet. And so you have two characters that are polar opposites. They are so far from each other in terms of their personalities that you would never think that they would ever be able to interact. But somehow, thanks to their failures in life, or decisions they have made, has resulted in them being able to meet up and get to know each other, and they complement each other. The chemistry between the two characters is incredibly powerful and strong, because you have someone like Kano that's able to bring out the best in Yoru, for instance, allowing Yoru to be able to make decisions and do what she wants to do without fear of being judged, while Kano is brought back to reality that there's people also very ordinary that also just can't make decisions as quickly as she can. It's really nice. It grounds these two characters, honestly, and I just like the very message. We could also get into the whole theme of, like, devil and angel, which you see their outfits within the later half of the episode, and I think this can represent their personalities very well, too. For instance, for, Kano, she was displayed as a devil/demon. She is someone that got landed in the bottom of the earth, basically buried, kind of like a demon or something, casted away in hell, thanks to assault and allegations and all that, and she had to, she's crawling her way out of hell, so to speak, to be able to get back to what she once was, while you have someone like Yoru that was basically launched from heaven down to earth because she had high aspirations and she is not able to achieve them, or she thought she wasn't able to achieve them. So it's both characters trying to climb back up, but from the ground level, and thanks to their decisions, they were able to meet up. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of symbolic meaning and messages and themes that this show does, and I like that. It's really good. It's a fantastic first episode. I really could not ask for more for a first episode. On top of that, the series is anime original. You can see it right here. It is an anime original, so it is not based on a light novel. It's not based on a manga. It is completely anime original, which does mean that, this could potentially blow up in a lot of popularity and become the new Lycoris Recoil. Anyone that remembers that from last year, it probably can become something like that. I can definitely see this series being quite a surprise smash hit in the next few weeks. Once people start picking up on this series and watching it, I feel like it's definitely going to be something that's going to get a lot of people's attention. Now, one thing I do want to say before I wrap up the video, this episode had a lot of issues earlier today, and what I mean by that is when it released on Hidive, the subtitles just were not there for pretty much most of the day. Like, I'm going to be blunt here, I had to go through other means, the 7Cs, so to speak, to be able to watch the episode, which is sad, because I talked about Hidive in the past. I enjoy them. I'm not a sponsor, but I enjoy their site. They are a nice, site that gives us uncensored content, and I appreciate them. I do. But it does suck that most of the day there was literally no subtitles for the show, so people that really do like a lot of anime went out of their way to watch it through the 7 Cs, and those that, can't be bothered, they do have a Hidive, are probably just going to skip over it because the subtitles weren't there. So I do think there's going to be a hampering on people maybe watching the show today because of that, but we'll see. But anyways, yeah, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Full recommendation. I really do recommend watching it if you haven't yet. The first episode just came out today, but I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, stay healthy. Love you guys. Chibi out.